Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be covering 3 separate Lego sets. I brought the boxes out to make sure that that was clear. These are each the little Marvel Mech sets, little mini Mech sets. Each one comes with a Mech armor unit and a single figure. We're going to start with the Thor one. As with previous entries in this series of small mechs that they've been doing for a little bit now, you will see a lot of commonalities between the builds. Basically the same size between them, basically the same articulation between them, with some variation. The same way that the minifigure is held in place, the same piece used as the absolute front of it, but then a lot of details are changed out. This Thor version is the most bulky. It also happens to have the most pieces by a few, not a significant difference there. And this one has a big old weapon. I don't know if that's intended to be like a sized up version of Mjolnir or if it's a specialized like Mech Mjolnir. These are stickers that you have to place on the 1x2 bricks there. I just kind of tried to line them up the best I could. Sticker there, stickers on the shoulders. That is a print, and then stickers around the waist for this one. In terms of articulation, pretty much anything that you could ask for articulation-wise out of a miniature mech, you can get with this because it uses the Mixels ball joints everywhere. So you have full articulation at the shoulder, absolutely. Like this will go all over the place. That's just from one joint. And then technically, this is an elbow here. So it just has kind of a short upper arm, but that elbow can move quite a bit. Plus you can also rotate this. So if instead I wanted the motion to go, well, I guess that doesn't change it that much, but it does change what I can do at the wrist. So this allows the wrist to go more in and out. And if I rotate that back this way, which probably isn't the best, you have more up and down. It'd be better to rotate it like this. Gives you a little bit more room still. And then this one has the fingers as well. 3 fingers plus a thumb. Holds on to the weapon very nicely because it's got the pin there. I'm glad that they continue to do that. They came up with that years back and it just works really well. Allows you to just grab the thing and just wield it, you know, right in your hand there. You don't have to worry about keeping it lined up properly or if it'll fall out. On the other hand, you've got the same sort of thing, right? You've got the thumb, the fingers. You could potentially clip something here, some additional weapon of your own that you add on. You can also put Mjolnir over on this side if you want. And then down, well, we've got a little bit of waist articulation, a fair amount of it as well. It is limited a little bit. That's by design, but it's there. And then you've also got plenty of articulation within the legs themselves, including knees, even though this thing's very small. So, I mean, more than you could ask for, realistically, to the point where you could pretty easily get in trouble with it, where things are kind of wonky, but then, fortunately, put the feet on the ground, wobble the whole thing around a little bit, and there you go. That works. Not the best looking pose, but it just stands. And that's something that I always want to see in a toy. You know, if it's not something that's super high end, where it's going to be just adults that want to be very careful about setting every joint exactly right for display. If it's intended to be a toy, I want to be able to just do whatever with it, because that's what kids are going to do. They're going to do whatever with it. And then, oh, I want to put it down. I want it to be on the ground. Okay, rather than spending 10 minutes, there, that's good enough. You know, sweet. That's good design. Moved his helmet out of the way. And then here's how the figure gets held in. So there's just a little bit of range of motion there. It is limited slightly, but there are no studs to hold this in place. He just has a panel down there. Did pull his helmet off, but that's not a problem to me. Just a small panel down there to hold basically the gap between the legs. And that's what you're going to see done for each of these. Obviously, there's also a clip on this one to hold on to the real Mjolnir, the regular minifig scale one. Here's this set's version of Thor by itself, and I am not a Marvel super fan or lore master, so I will leave it up to the Marvel super fans and lore masters who are watching this to determine exactly what variant of Thor this is intended to represent. I am a little bit sad that he does not come with a nice soft red cape to flow off the back of him, even though, you know, you might have to take it off to put it on the mech, or it might kind of get in the way a little bit. Just would have made this a more complete minifigure by itself for folks who are more interested in just this. I do like the print on this. The main color for the body and legs is gunmetal gray. The I guess, yeah, helm, that does count as a helm, right? Is molded pretty nicely. And that's just the head that's used for this one, dual face version on that. I'll go ahead and show you what this looks like so. There you go. Here are the leftover pieces from the Thor set for what it's worth. The Captain America mech is a little bit more sleek, just slimmed down a bit, doesn't have as many add-on pieces, and uses more 1x1s and 1x2s as add-on pieces compared to the Thor one. But once again, you have the exact same articulation options and possibilities with what joints are used and everything. This one for its hands goes just a little bit smaller, like the main fingers. So the thumb is the same, but the main fingers are a little bit smaller. And on the other hand, he gets this giant printed shield, which is like, the specialized mech version of Cap's own main weapon. So that can actually spin up, and it's just attached onto the back of the mech hand. This is a print. That's a print, so there are no stickers used on the set. That's a good thing. Looking at this around the back, see the color schemes are fairly consistent on these. I wasn't using it, but they actually do have a clip for the minifig scaled shield to be just down there, and when that's attached, I mean, it's super obvious, but at least there is a place for it. But as you saw, he can just hold it in his hand. But the idea here, I think, would be that, when he gets in the mech, like everything about him just gets bigger and better, and he kind of integrates with it, and then his own shield becomes this. At least that's the way that I look at it. It's everything just kind of merges together. But they've always got that spot there, so you don't have to worry about a place for it. And as for access to the figure, this one has a little bit better access than the Thor mech. You just have more range of motion for this to open up. But otherwise, it's basically the same with no studs used down there, just the little panel piece, which works great. Again, me, no Marvel guy, so this is just a Captain America to me. And it's a good-looking Captain America. I like it. I like the honeycomb texture on the top. It's a little bit subtle, but on the top of the torso there. Let me see if I can get that to give you a little bit of glare so you can see it's just a little bit better. You got some metallic printing in there as well. Just nice detail. The dark blue works pretty well for me. The print on on Cap's cap up here is not too bad. Could have been a little bit more opaque with the A, but the wing over here looks pretty good. Wing over here looks pretty good. The shield is printed okay. Could have been a little bit brighter again with the white and a little bit more consistent. I can see a little area on the top here where it's not as thick. So yeah, more quality would definitely be appreciated here, but the print on the back of the torso is quite good. And there's his alternate face. And there's this one to include the chin strap. And there are Cap's mech's spare parts. The Miles Morales mech armor is the most unique of the three. It just stands out. It has, a much more sleek build. Everything is thinner, especially with those feet. Not a big fan of those feet. I understand it's just a stylistic choice that the designer went with to fit in with his agility and kind of how he gets drawn. Very, very sleek down towards the ankles and legs, especially when he's leaping about. But I don't know, they're just one single stud wide. But they added extra length to make sure there would still be plenty of stability. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on with this one with stuff that's attached. So for this set, they recolored the Web Blast accessory set for minifigs into this nice frosted translight blue. That is cool. It's very nice. I really like that. It's not just translight blue, it's frosted in particular. That's done with intent. It is really cool. It's not a hard plastic. It's the same type of material that they use for all of these, as far as I can tell. Has just a little bit of flexibility to it, which is a good thing. Here you've got the spinner, the suggestion of the spinner coming from the wrist or lower part of the palm. And this is just a nice build. It looks very kinetic. I see a lot of movement there. You can pose the fingers nicely. The fingers are the same between the fingers and the thumb on this one. It's got another one of those pieces over here. So you just slap that up against somebody. Looks like did I do this? I think I did this backwards, right? The thumb is in the wrong place. The thumb is upside down. So my mistake there. But you can also use these pieces. I mean, here they're kind of used as garnish, as decorations, but you can use those with the minifigures. And all these pieces are interchangeable. You can, start to put things together. And there's a piece that you'll see when we look at the minifigure by itself. to allow any of these to be adapted to that minifigure. And that includes these here, which can potentially be used as like air brakes when he's moving around. This one has the little pauldrons. Probably the worst build segment of any of them. Just this right here. I don't know. It just can kind of get misaligned a little bit, but it's not a big issue at all. I'm just nitpicking there. Just little things. Also the fact that this is medium blue doesn't match. It kind of stands out a little bit, but that is a print. No stickers used in this set. Same articulation as the others. A little bit easier to access it just because you have no larger pieces getting in the way. Plenty of friction for all the joints. And with this one, again, you have a little bit of limitation to how far this will open, but again, it's not an issue because you have the same sort of setup as with the others to get the figure in, and then he will stay. My disclaimer need not be repeated again. Miles Morales here with the dark red colored hoodie, dual molded legs. Yes, that is good. Always nice to see. Always kind of a luxury item. I like that hood piece. I hope that they will release that hood piece in pretty much every color that can match any torso that they've ever done. It's just so useful. You can just put a hood up on anybody with that piece so simply. And the print on that torso is good. Print on the back, also good. Nicely detailed. Production work, I think, is fine. The white is good. The metallic comes through. The gray stands out from the black well enough. The regular red stands out from the dark red well enough. This is my favorite of the figures of these three. Got some print on the back of that head as well. Finally, these are the leftovers for the Miles Morales mech. I bought each of these for their retail prices of $10. $10 for one. $30 for all three. I feel really good about that price. I feel really good about that value. Feels like you get, if anything, more with your $10 with these sets than you do with just about anything from Lego. Because like compare one of these and what you can do with one of these to a city car set, you know, where you pay $10 and you just get a car and a minifig. Might be a nice car, but you can't do with a car what you can do with a Miles Morales mech armor, you know. Plus, the figures are nicer for these, not to mention the fact that they're licensed, but yeah, these are nice figures, lots of nice accessories here. Out of the three, I think I like the look of the Captain America one best. It looks balanced, doesn't try to go overboard with anything, and doesn't try to go too skinny like the Miles Morales one does with the feet there. I think that the Thor one is actually the most fun to play with. It's more substantial than the others, you know, with the slightly larger builds and add-ons. But most importantly, the hammer. You know, you can just grab, like I showed you, you just grab the wrist, hand, whatever, or even the hammer itself and just beat up on bad guy vehicles and minifigs and stuff. You know, it's very easy to get in there and play with this. I find the Miles Morales one to be the most interesting, mostly by way of its parts. So I think this is the most interesting parts pack by far, especially with the web blast pieces, but also in the black and red with the ingot pieces and the full set of the fingers and some of the notched wedge curve pieces and stuff. That's all pretty cool. The fact that each of these comes with a printed front chest plate is nice. I wish that we got all prints for the Thor mech as well, because that did have probably too many stickers for such a small set. But that's my only real complaint. Overall, great values here, good stuff. I have only a pure build for this one. I didn't do build videos for the others, and I'm not going to do a speed build for this one because I mean, it was 20 minutes for a 20-minute build for including unboxing and everything. For $10 is not bad, but I'm not going to do a speed build because it would be like 1 minute, you know, a minute and a half or something like that. And the others I built just on my own time. So thank you for watching. If you want to see how one of these goes together, since they do share most of their most important build attributes, you can check out the pure build for this one. Otherwise, thank you for stopping by, and I will talk to you again soon here with my next review. Bye for now.